Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today we'll see how to optimize recovery to maximize muscle growth. We'll talk about nutrition, about supplementation, and then we'll see some quick and actionable things that you can do right after your workout to accelerate the recovery process. So make sure to stay till the end. So to begin with, let's deal with nutrition. Nutrition after a workout is obviously essential to recover properly. You need to eat clean and to eat the right amount of protein. But what is the right amount of protein? There's a lot of BS, there's a lot of misconception, because you gotta understand that all those fitness influencers that are telling you to buy supplements, to buy whey protein, to eat that amount of protein, they are all biased because they're paid, they're sponsored by supplement brand to promote products. But actually, if you look at the literature, if you look at scientific studies and meta-analysis, which is the highest scale of science, we found that the right amount of protein is 1.6 gram of protein per kilo of body weight per day. And that's lower than the traditional 1 gram of protein per pound per day. Because again, supplement companies want you to buy more protein. And all those studies found that further protein, like more than 1.6, is not necessary. I would say that the only case in which it's necessary to eat more than that amount of protein is if you compete in other sports, if you play football, you play tennis, or you do high intensity cardio like CrossFit. But if you're just a gym bro, you go to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week and you only do cardio once in a while, because let's get real, if you're a gym bro, you almost never do cardio, then you will get away perfectly well with 1.6 gram of protein per kilo of body weight per day. And what about the timing? Is there an anabolic window? That's also a fitness myth, but nowadays in 2025 there's not many people that still believe this myth, right? I found a study that compared two groups. The first one ate their post-workout meal immediately after a workout, like right after the last set of the last exercise, and the other group ate the exact same meal but 3 hours after the workout. That's a significant change, and the rest of the day they ate the exact same amount of protein at the exact same time. The only thing that changed was the post-workout meal, and they found no significant changes in muscle protein synthesis, meaning it doesn't matter when you eat your post-workout meal. The anabolic window is a pure myth, and you're going to be perfectly fine if you wait 1 hour, 2 hours, or even 3 hours after your workout to eat your protein. And by the way, the conclusion of almost all those studies about the protein intake is that it doesn't matter the protein timing. What actually matters, the primary factor for hypertrophy, for muscle growth, is the overall daily protein intake, which again needs to be around 1.6 gram per kilo per day. On the other hand, something that does matter is the protein quality. I'm not going to be too long with that because we all know what is a high quality protein, right? You just have to eat good source of meat, good fish, dairy products, eggs, and you will be perfectly fine. It's not much more complicated. However, something that many people don't know is that if you eat just pure protein, it's clearly not optimal, right? There are some studies showing that to enhance muscle protein synthesis and glycogen synthesis, glycogen, it's carbs into your muscles that are stored as energy. To enhance those two syntheses, you have to eat a real meal after your workout. Protein plus carbs plus fats if you want, but those studies don't really talk about it. So instead of eating just a pure whey protein shake, add a banana, or instead of eating just chicken breast, if you're crazy, add rice and vegetables with it. Your body will digest it better and will synthesize more muscle and glycogen. Now, to enhance recovery, there's many supplements that can help you. The first supplement that can help you to enhance recovery and muscle growth is whey protein. If you eat 1.6 gram of protein per kilo of body weight per day, it's not necessary to take extra whey protein. If you eat less than that amount, however, it may be useful to take whey protein, but make sure to buy high quality whey protein powder, because there's a lot of brands that are just completely scamming people. The next supplement that can help you is, of course, creatine monohydrate. There's several forms of creatine actually, but Creatine monohydrate is the most studied, the most reliable one. Creatine helps you to build muscle, to lose fat, to gain strength. It may even help you with cognitive functions, to think more clearly, and for some people it helps to reduce muscle soreness. It hasn't for me, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to help for you, right? For me it has worked for all the other things. It really works for gain strength. The next supplement to optimize recovery is magnesium. Magnesium lowers stress and anxiety. It enhances sleep, and that's what you want, because it doesn't matter if you eat well, if you eat protein, if you exercise properly. If you don't sleep well, you're not gonna grow. Growing muscle doesn't happen when you're exercising. Actually, it's the opposite. When you're exercising, when you're lifting weights, you're destroying muscle tissue, and then you repair that tissue when you're recovering. And the main part of recovery is obviously sleep. So you want to optimize your sleep first. And the magnesium can help you with sleep quality. Again, it's very well studied and it's pretty cheap. Now, all the other fancy supplements that are promoted, like ashwagandha for example, they're not necessary, right? There's not enough evidence showing that they will help you in a way that is as dramatic as creatine, for example. If you have a low budget, I would recommend you to take maybe whey protein if you don't eat 1.6 gram of protein per kilo per day, creatine monohydrate, and magnesium. And all the other stuff, you can forget that. It's clearly not as useful. It's not worth your money as much as those three ones. And finally, let's get to some actionable tips to enhance your recovery. Recovery happens as soon as you finish working out. You gotta understand that. When you're working out, you're in what we call a sympathetic mode, which is the fight or flight mode of your brain, your CNS, and the mode of alertness. And then when you finish working out, you want to get as soon as possible in the parasympathetic mode, which is the mode of recovery and relaxation. And how do you reach the parasympathetic mode when you finish exercising? Well, by just chilling. After a lift, you want to chill. What you can do is meditating if you're into that, box breathing exercise or any kind of breathing exercise helps a lot. Reading or just chilling, watching a movie, doing something that is calm and that will help you to wind down. But you don't want to do something stressful after a workout. Of course, even me personally, once in a while, I don't have the choice. So after a workout, I go to a birthday, I party. But if I have the choice, the majority of the time, I would rather do something calm to accelerate recovery and to maximize muscle growth. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you learned something and it's gonna help you to recover perfectly. If you did, please let me know in the comments, leave a like, you can subscribe to my channel and click the bell button, and I'll see you next time.